Hello, everybody out there in viewer land. If you are watching this, you are watching live as we play Good Strong Hands with our wonderful players and their interesting little fey folk type characters. Um, and we'll go, I think, real quick around the board just to remind everybody, remind everybody who you're playing, so we have a sense of what these characters are, because you're not going to necessarily immediately identify like this is a D&D fighter or this is a D&D wizard because we're not playing D&D. Who's Junie?
So Juniper
Junie.
is a pixie, um,
Wee.
likes to cause mischief, and is very often dragging. I think we've established her BFF into trouble with her. Um, and, just trouble all around, but good natured for the most part.
And that BFF would be Parsley.
Parsley. Oh, there's the voice. I like parsley. I like all things vegetation. I like to help out, but new things maybe not. Parsley is a paragon rabbit. Uh, very spiritualist, very in tune with the world, hopefully. And yes, getting into mischief with Junie is, she won't admit it, but the highlight of her day, if anything.
And how about Aqualaria?
Claria is a woodkin and is currently feeling like she's the adult of the group, keeping an eye on the kids so they don't die.
That's totally fair. She kind of is. And then the cranky uncle, or the cranky cousin, I guess, is Sparky.
Hi there. I'm Sparky, the imp. I'm a refugee, sort of, from a different place who came here to escape the shadow, and now it's here too. So things are going kind of bad, especially since people are blaming me for this whole mess. And it's not actually my fault, I think, hopefully. And now, like, there's a lot of responsibility on my little shoulders, and I don't do so well with that. So things are gonna go real good, I hope, maybe.
Okay, to recap, the characters were attending a spring festival in the Briarwood Forest, and it was all taking place around this large pool that had like this huge rocky outcropping next to it that spewed water up from the top that kind of trickled down as a waterfall, and it's a very beautiful, lovely place. And you were surrounded by all sorts of other folk, and there were performances and storytelling, and people had brought their things that they had crafted to trade and give away. There was a bit of a ruckus when Aquilaria's grandfather, the old Elm, who sometimes goes by the name Old Elmer, came bounding into the place and kind of kicked up a bit of a ruckus. And there was a chicken. Well, there was not a chicken. There was a red cap. Well, actually, we'll get to the red cap. The ground shook, and the water that was coming out of the top of the rock started kind of spewing down, kind of gray and murky and foul smelling, kind of poisonous, and it started filling the pool. A red cap amongst the crowd tasted just the tiniest bit of the water and started acting like a chicken. That was a side effect that was determined by a listener suggestion. I didn't quite have them turn into a chicken, but the red cap started acting like a chicken. The group decided to try to figure out what was going on. They investigated the pool. Sparky spoke with the old treant. I always want to say treant, and they're not treants. They're woodkin. The old woodkin who spoke of you could cleanse the water with the tears of a unicorn. And unicorns in this world of Reverie are fairly rare. They're out there, but they're kind of all spread out across the land, and none of you knows of any nearby ones. So you set out on a quest to find a telescope. There's a a reputed kind of magical telescope that sits on this rocky outcropping on the edge of a volcano, as it was suggested by viewers, and a dormant volcano, which didn't stay dormant for very long, because dormant volcanoes in role-playing games are really boring. The group made their way there. There was all sorts of kind of worry and concern. There was a lot of hijinks in amongst the group. The pranksters of the group had a lot of fun. Sparky revealed that his people, the imps, are from someplace else, and have come to Reverie from that other place that was destroyed by something like the void, like the shadow, like the creeping nothing that is threatening the world now. And the group of you started making your way up toward the lip of this kind of low, dormant volcano. Found yourself in between two rivers, essentially, of lava that were starting to flow down, and but just kind of being funneled up toward where this telescope is on this old ruin, this old broken down, busted up remains of some building from long, long ago. And suddenly, flying up out of the lava were a suggestion from the audience as well: flying lava eels. Because there's nothing quite like a lava eel that can also get airborne and come out of the lava that you were doing so well to avoid. I believe remind me who made friends with the first lava eel? Junie.
I shrunk him down to my size, and then did a little dance.
And befriended the lava eel, which is now kind of hanging around with you. And then two others kind of jumped up out of the lava and started to fly toward you, as Aqualaria noticed, there was a ground rumbling and an earth shaking, and Aqualaria noticed that the telescope that was sitting up atop this ruin, a piece fell off of it, which is always good. And that's where we ended it. We're actually in the midst of this action sequence here, with Junie having gone last. And the initiative in the game works where the characters, the players, basically determine who goes next in the initiative. And we had kind of finished up one round. Everybody had done something, and so Junie.
Junie is, while maintaining like eye contact and keeping the attention of her new friend on her, she's going to like call over her shoulder, Sparky, do you speak their like fire language or something?
Oh, do they actually talk? Oh, that's so much better.
I don't know.
Parsley said they weren't friends, so I thought we couldn't talk to them. I'll give it a whirl, and I'll walk up and I'll speak imp to them, because that's the language I get besides common.
Except that in the game, languages are never defined and everybody just kind of speaks the same language. But that's okay. We can say you've got like an impy language. We can invent that. Yeah, we invent that for the game. That's fine. That's one of the things about Good Strong Hands, is that we invent the world as we go. There's not a great deal of detail to the world. The players get to help the GM craft that world, because then it's a better world for you to save if you have a hand in making it. And so the imp goes up and babbles in impish. I assume that's what the language is called. And the fire snaky thing, the lava eel, just kind of hisses at you. Doesn't seem
I don't think they talk, Junie. I don't think that hisses is a word. I don't know that word. I think he's just angry.
So calming down.
Did I step on your plants or something? Oh, gosh. I'm so sorry, Mr. Snake.
I'm just making a note of who's gone here. Are you, a quick, having a quick word and trying to communicate with the thing is like effectively a free action. Like you didn't have to do anything. Did you want to try to, say again what you were doing? Let's clarify if there's anything.
I'm just gonna walk up, say some things, like to try to get it to be my pal, but it doesn't understand what I'm saying, so that doesn't work. Then I'm going to apologize for whatever I did to piss it off, but it doesn't understand that either, so that doesn't work. So I basically just waste my turn doing nothing.
Well, no, we can call this a charm
I
check.
grab its attention. Let's
We
say
can,
that.
yeah, we'll call it a charm check to essentially like try to distract it, get its attention. How it reacts to that, it may simply just start watching you. You know,
Makes sense. All right.
target number 5.
1.
1 success. So mark a spirit. And everybody here, remember, please, as we kind of get into the game, we're teaching the rules as we go to. The group of you have been marking. You started with some spirit. You've been marking spirit as the game goes along. Feel free to spend that. You've got talents, some of which require spending spirit, and you can always spend a point of spirit to gain an extra die on a check. So like when you do make, if you find yourself making, particularly if you find yourself making a check that you only have a 1 or a 2 rating in to begin with, especially if, the target number is going to be higher. And remind me always, if I don't tell you the target number right away, to make me tell you, because that's part of the decision-making process about whether or not you want to spend the points. Because otherwise the points just pile up, and once you max out your pool, like you don't gain more, you might as well use them.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that the reason I'm angering it is because I'm messing up his place. So I'm going to be clearing away my footsteps, and making more because I'm still walking there.
But you've got his attention. You've got its attention. It's hovering and floating around you. It's looking at you menacingly. I'm sorry, Allie, were you going to interject something?
No, I just wanted a point of clarity on the rules. When you roll, you add to your spirit pool. When you use spirit, you take those that you've added away from your spirit pool.
Right. You gain a point of spirit, and you mark a checkbox for that. But if you have to spend a spirit anywhere, then you erase a checkbox.
Okay.
So
As opposed to shadow, which once you build it up,
you never spend shadow on anything.
Right, but does it? If you fill up the available boxes of shadow, which I'm not close to, but once that happens, then that transmutes into one of the shadow traits, and then it drops back down, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Right. Spirit is a currency that will go up and down.
Right.
Skill and shadow are both tracks that go up and up and up and up until you fill all the boxes, and then something happens. And then you erase all of them, and you gain something.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Because I know that we've got a few people that are like, they're looking forward to that first corruption because they picked up some shadow last time around.
I'm so excited.
So you've got an eel that's kind of menacing you. Who's next, Sparky?
I will have the Woodkin go next.
I am paying attention to the point of us being here, which is the telescope. Wow, lost that word. Is the telescope. So, and it seems to or appears to be crumbling.
Well, a piece fell off.
Okay, it's just and
yeah, it's not just like raining parts, but like there was a rumble and you saw there was like a piece went ba-punk and it just fell.
Fair enough. What else is on that platform with the telescope? Is it just the telescope?
What else is on the platform?
Starbucks.
What's on there?
Starbucks.
There's a Starbucks. Okay, there's a Starbucks. There's a tankard.
Yeah.
I mean, no, literally. Tell me, like, you're not up on it, so like anything very, very small, you're not gonna be able to see. But like, what else is up there? Anything interesting?
How high did you say that it was up?
It's like a little tower that's like 20, 30 feet up.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's cool. That's what I wanted to know. Like,
It's not a gigantic building.
Plateau, or because I know that the building was falling apart, or at least we'd said
It's old.
Great repair.
Right.
So it was just wondering how far that has occurred. Because I can do things like plant manipulation, but there are no plants up there. No. So,
There's you. You're a plant.
right, but I'm not up there.
Yet.
I gotta work on that part.
Can you Groot it and just like
Oh, I didn't take that ability.
ah?
Sure. Hey, let's keep this simple. Yeah, there's there's these really nasty, like dark, deep brown vines that are on there that are almost leafless. They have like little leaves that sprout off them. You've seen these before. They're like these weird things that they grow out of rocks and they grow out of stonework, and require very little like true soil nutrients. They're really weird for plants. You know, they're not like typical plants. You're convinced that that perhaps Stonekin magics created them because the stonekin in this world live in like very rocky areas. They themselves are like basically stone, earth rock elementals, and they would adorn their, since like not a lot of plant life lived where they live, they magicked up these things that could actually grow out of rocks then, and that's why they tend to be they're browns and deep reds and grays, and they don't have a lot of leaves, and they don't function by all the same rules that normal plants do, but they're basically plants.
Okay. But it means that since they are vines, that they can grow vines.
They can.
Would be somewhat useful. We've got lava eels attacking us. Well, lava eels, they're not necessarily attacking yet. And is there what does our access to this tower look like? Is there an apparent door? Is there no apparent door? There
looks to be a door opening. If there was a proper door that closed the opening, you don't see it, or it's rotted away, or.
Okay, so can I suggest, with lava flying around, that we go inside?
So you make that suggestion to everyone. Do you run that way? Do you head that direction?
Yes. I don't like burning things. So yes. Inside tower, away from burning things. Excellent choice.
You are very large, and most of your friends are very small. You could scoop somebody up and take them with you.
I think that sounds like an excellent plan. Whoever's closest, as many of them as I can grab.
Who's closest? Sound
closest. Parsley's closest.
Parsley.
Yeah.
She is like shaking. She is hissing. She's like, no flying eels, please.
So you scoop up the rabbit and you're off.
We're going.
Okay, and you run up and get kind of like inside the ruin. We'll call it a tower as well. It's basically like a 3-story tower with kind of a, the base of it has more building to it, and then there's like a 2-story part that pops up. Who's next?
Oh, that's for me to.
That's for you, yes, Allie.
The snake or Parsley?
Junie and Sparky have already done.
Junie did not go. Junie, I think, just kind of handed things off to Sparky at the beginning because she went last time. So Junie and Parsley.
Me and Parsley
And Snake.
Well, the snakes they kind of go on their own. They don't have a turn in this game. Basically,
Stop rooting for the enemy.
I use them as reactions to things that you do.
Okie dokie. I want the snake to eat me, so.
Oh, I can make that happen. I don't have a problem with that. So.
Still got at least one more second.
Sorry, who's next? Who's next then? Junie, with your new friend.
Seeing that Sparky accomplished nothing. How big is Sparky in comparison to the eels?
Well, the eels are about 3 to 4 feet long. How tall is Sparky? He's smaller than human,
about the
but
same. Yeah, about the same.
3-4 feet tall. So, but he's much bulkier with multiple limbs, so he's considerably. There's considerably
wide.
More weight to him than there is to a snake.
Do we know what the carry capacity of a flying lava eel is?
You don't know whether, one of them could potentially carry Sparky away. You've never seen like you look over there and there's a flying lava eel that's like carrying an elephant and you're like, whoa.
Oh shoot, and I shrunk this one down, didn't I?
Its carrying capacity is drastically diminished.
Judy is going to say, hey other guys, look over there! Fancy lights! And she is going to use her minor magic of light to make like a bright flash to try to distract them.
Okay, you're going to try to distract the two remaining unfriendly lava eels.
Yes.
Sure. Let's see a heart check. Target
heart
number
check.
4. It's a distraction kind of thing. That's pretty
Okay.
straightforward.
And do my specialties give me advantages?
What
Or
specialties do you have?
helping others and using minor magic.
Using minor magic gives you advantage.
Excellent. So that's a 4 dice. And what's my target? Sorry.
Target number 4.
That is 2 successes.
You can mark a shadow, and with 2 successes, I'll call that like essentially a hit and a boon. So you get one eel, and you get the other one. So you've got these 2 eels that are now kind of transfixed by these flashing lights that are like going, woo, 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 and they're like they're not prepared for that. They're already out of their element because they're not swimming through lava. Yeah, they don't look. As they still look menacing, but they're not like moving toward anyone at this point. So you could hustle on out of there if you wanted to.
Let's go, Sparky.
Ooh, fancy lights.
Don't look.
And then
They're
it's
so fancy.
and then it's Parsley's turn for this round.
As she is brought inside to the tower, she is automatically just yelling at Junie and Sparky. Get inside! Get inside! What are you doing? Get inside! She's just so angry.
But there's these fancy lights out here. You should come see this.
It's a Sparky of hair because he will start pulling it in the
He's
right
got
direction.
horns.
There you go.
Just
steer
steer him,
You said that the
Yes.
steer him like a bicycle.
He says that the tower was, by history, was as if made by Stonekin, correct?
We didn't specifically define that. I was just referring to Stonekin homes living
Okay.
in Stony Lands. This tower, this ruin here is very, very old. Like where it's from, we have not defined. If you want to try to determine that, or decide that for yourself, you can. Like if your character happens to know, let's tell us. Where's this? Who built this?
I feel like she would have an idea. It's just more of trying to figure out how the inside might also look. Besides it just being a tower, there is a. You know what? She's not going to step outside like past the door frame. So she's just like standing there and just like, okay, what's the situation? And maybe try to get the history of the place.
Sure.
Just a quick look.
That's a mind check. If you have any specialty, there are specialties that have to do with like history and figuring things
I
out.
do have that for her.
So that gives you advantage.
And what is my target? Oh.
Target number 6 for this. This is an unknown thing.
Oof.
Nope. She stares. It's a rock. These are rocks.
You
Some sort.
you look around, you see that in Aqualaria, everybody who gets inside gets a good look at this now too. This is not masonry. These are not blocks that have been piled up. It is a building. It is like it's hard edges and angles and everything. Everything's orthogonal, but it was either carved out of rock that was previously here, or it was shaped by magic into this form. It is not blocks that was put together. On the inside, the building itself is bereft of furniture or tapestries or any sort of decorations, other than there are a variety of carvings on the walls that that are like literal, and those look like old and weathered. They don't look like they look like they've been there a long time. They're not like they're how like something that's weathered kind of has a smooth. It's a dip in the rock, but it's smooth. So there's these rudimentary carvings. They're painted, though the paint is fading, and they are not of celestial bodies and stars and moons and things like that, but of very strange places that none of you have ever seen. You're looking at locations that are probably very, very far away.
Look into the sky.
And did Parsley just went in here? Yes.
Yeah.
Parsley, who goes next? Sparky is still outside, putting up the fisticuffs, checking out checking out the fireworks show.
Well, we'll go with Sparky. Let's see how he favors out there.
Right. I will allow myself to be guided towards the building by Junie, who is tugging me at my horns.
Oh, that Junie's
So-
right out there too, steering you up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can make it up to the building enough, and running on the assumption that Junie kind of is in the process of going along with you. Is there anything in particular you want to do? Do you want, once you get to the building, you see what I've described to you, and there
Yes.
on one side of the building there is a window you can look out and you can see like into the like this is as described last week. This is one of those volcanoes. It's not like a big peak. It's like that really low kind of thing, and there's a crater. And you're at the right up at the lip in this building, and you're looking over, and there's there's lava right there. Like you
Oh
can,
man, I thought this building was crumbling, but this looks really solid.
You can
And
spin
I
into
know
it.
about rocks. So, I was worried that if I were to go to this side of the building and jump up and down like this, that we would fall into the lava. But I think we're gonna be fine,
Partially
you guys.
is like having a panic attack.
There.
Yeah, the building doesn't give way. Parsley.
It's just
See,
the
we're
thought.
good.
Yeah, it's just the thought and him explaining it. It's just like Parsley's like, no, please don't tempt with fate.
This is really impressive. All right, where's that telescope thing? Is it this? Or is it that other thing? What's this thing on the wall?
Are there
Maybe
stairs?
you just shouldn't touch anything.
Yeah, there are stairs.
Because it's like, do I have to use the magic trick to make stairs? Do we have stairs? The telescope is upstairs. So let's lock the door first.
There
Okey-doke.
is no door.
I know,
Hmm.
and there are lava eels outside. So locking the doorway seems like a logical choice.
Gotcha.
Put a chair in the doorway.
There is no
There we go.
chair.
There's got to be something that I can move and put in the doorway.
There's a rock about the size of your fist.
There we go. A rock.
Okay,
Well, let's do this. The eels are outside and they're transfixed by this light that is going to kind of hang around for a little while because you spent spirit on it, and it's you didn't spend spirit, but you created
I got a boon.
magic that's going to hang around, and you got a boon and everything. So we're going to drop out of rounds. You are in the building. You do have an open doorway that is potentially problematic, but then again, you're also planning to head to the roof.
very, very true. And there's nothing. Well, okay, let's do it this way. There's nothing that is immediately visible that would be movable. Bookcases, large rocks, something that's crumbled from the ceiling, anything like that.
There are vines all around the outside of the building.
Right. So our only option for blocking the door is to pull the vines across the doorway. So then you've got wood versus fire, which, as someone who is completely wood, not.
I don't know. I figure vines that are growing on the side of a volcano are going to be special vines. Maybe they grow when you sprinkle lava on them. Who knows?
When you ran up here and you got a good look at those vines kind of coming up when as you got inside, they don't look like plant material. There's a crust to them. There's like a rough kind of surface to them.
I would just like to point out the fact that these are flying lava eels. So I don't know if blocking the door is going to do us any good. Maybe we should just go upstairs because, they can fly up there.
Yeah, good call.
At least the second floor.
Up you go.
Yes. Is my new friend still with us?
Is who?
Is my lava eel mini friend?
Your little lava eel mini friend is with you. After you get in here and you start talking for a little bit, the scene that you were in previously ends. So the magic of where you shrunk,
he's
shrunk
now
them down
a big eel.
wears off and they become big, but they still remain kind of friendly toward you.
Junie is going to land on its back and ride him like Falcor at the end of the story.
Should that thing be in here?
You walk close to it, or you fly close to it, and it's like walking. It's like flying up next to a stove. There's a heat source. Like you can feel there. It's hot.
Ooh,
Okay,
those-
maybe not.
yeah, maybe you should keep that thing away from our Woodkin friend. Hmm?
Yeah, we'll hang in the back.
Oh, we could block the door with this flying eel thing. It's big enough. There we go. Problem solved.
Just go upstairs.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I'll
Bob.
hop up the stair.
All right, you make your way up. So the second floor here again has some of those rock, those carvings that are painted with strange, faraway places. There are incredibly jagged peaks with that are capped with ice. There's one that's of a huge, expansive ocean with a flying island, kind of resting out above the wave, above the sea. There's one of an incredibly like it doesn't take up a lot of space, square footage wise, but it's very tall of like a castle. That's like it's 3 times taller than it is wide. You find yourself thinking like you've heard stories that might be the Everkeep, which is far, far, far away from here. Which is like it's reputed to be the first great castle to have ever been built in the history of Reverie, and it is still occupied, although it saw its the height of its civilization long ago. You make your way up to the top floor, and there's a gigantic brass telescope.
Okay, that's gotta be the telescope.
It has, it's multiple cylinders, kind of that, could conceivably collapse or change. You could change your focal length of the telescope. It's got, and it sits on a pivot that's, you look at it, it'll turn and it'll pivot up and down, so you could look all over the place. And it's the pivot rests on a base that is covered in like a bunch of levers and dials.
Oh boy, this looks complicated.
Which are unlabeled.
Honestly,
Judy,
you wanna do the smart thing? You know stuff, right?
And there's down at the base, littered around the base, is are 2 like pieces of lever, like the lever. Like if you when you're looking at these levers and dials, there's spots. There's like slots where there's nothing in them. There's like you would imagine there should be a lever there, but there's nothing there. There's like 2 lever handles that are on the floor, and
This was
also
like this when I got here. I swear you were with me the whole time.
also an eyepiece, like a little angled eyepiece. It's like this big. Like you would look into it, it would go out and kind of, and it it has a 90-degree angle in it. That is lying on the floor, and all 3 of them look like they have seen better days.
I don't see the setting for unicorn.
Should I put this one back?
I keep fixing things.
You're so good at it.
Yeah, fixing broken stuff is like the best thing.
I am assuming this telescope is somewhat magical, and I have magic knowledge. So let's see if I know anything about the operation of the telescope.
Okay. Let's make a mind check with advantage, and you could spend a spirit if you wanted to as well. Keeping in mind always that when you spend spirit, that doesn't grant you advantage. That is a separate extra die, so you can always get both of those if you really need to.
Okay. So I would roll mine with an extra die for advantage, and then yes, I will spend a spirit. So that would be another die on top of that.
Yep. Target number 5.
Stop. Thank you. 3.
Go ahead and mark shadow, and you think you have from one success, you think you have a sense of where those, how to put the two levers and the eyepiece back where they need to be, just to get the physical thing complete. And you get the sense that the magic of the thing, and this is from kind of part of this is like you're communing with the magic of it. Like you reach out, you touch it, you let the magic emanations kind of flow through you, and you get a sense of what they are, and you feel like using this telescope requires that you spend a bit of your own energy, that you put something into it. It's because it is a very powerful magic that allows you to see anywhere. So in game terms, it requires that you spend a spirit each time you want to use it. But that, so you can kind of figure out how to, between the success and the boon, you have to spend a spirit to use it, and you know how you can repair it. You can get the pieces back in place. So that's effectively 2 hits on a multi-hit challenge. In the game, the way it works is like you might have something like repairing this thing and using it properly might take more than just like 1 or 2 successful checks to do something. In this case, you've gotten partway toward like actually making use of it.
So I spend a moment circling this thing and looking at it and thinking real hard and come up with this information. That we need to concentrate, essentially. And then put it back together. Those are the important things.
Okay, so you spent
putting it back together.
You're going to spend some time putting it back together, putting the pieces back in place. Is anybody want to help? Are you going to ask for help on anything? Because then I'm going to jump to whoever's not working on that.
I'm not very smart.
I'm enthusiastic, so that helps.
I guess I'll help, but hey,
She kind of gives a glare to Junie and Sparky. It's like,
since you dealt with the things, go keep watch.
Oh, but okay, I'll give this piece to you then. Here you go.
Allie, I'm sorry. You were cutting out, Allie. What did you say?
I'm sorry, I just said good plan.
See, I think what I figured out. I think what is happening with your microphone is you've got like a voice activation going on with it.
Oh,
So
you should
there's
never
a
have that
delay.
on.
If it's catching other people speaking, you start talking, we don't hear you.
So you want to go to audio settings. There's a little arrow above your mute button, and then you can figure that out. Let's see. It should be somewhere. I think it's automatically adjust microphone volume, and that should be not ticked. Anyway, we'll have you look at that while I hand a piece of the machine over to Parsley, who is much smarter than I am, and much better at fixing things. So, okay, good luck.
Which piece do you hand her?
Oh, I have a piece of the lever because this is where the lever should go, and I figured I could just jam it back into the machine. But
As Sparky hands that piece to Parsley takes it, and with the size difference, she kind of tips over a little bit. It's like, yes, this is the most effective plan there is right now.
all right, good luck. And I'll hop back down the stairs.
You too.
Allie, you've got a little helper. Everything good?
Yes, we're working on putting the telescope back together.
Okay.
Do you need any like melding? I can ask my friend if he could just like curl up around it to create like a heat bond to attach the 2 pieces.
Junie very quickly invents welding.
I've heard if you put 2 hot things together, they stick.
Junie, you're looking out, kind of watching all this happen and being like, I'm clumsy and I'm not going to try to get in the middle of this.
I'm also little.
And you hear your new lava eel friend hiss, and you see it looking out over the top, the parapet wall of the top of the tower, and you see down the direction you came from, running up the hill toward you is a red cap.
Oh.
And they are doing like so with their head and flapping their arms.
Guys, we've got incoming poultry. Should I go fricassee him?
You're like a
Why?
llama chicken? Is that what you're saying?
It's our friend, the chicken that we tied him up and left him.
And you want to go out and fricassee him?
I
Why?
mean, he's coming our way. He seems to have picked up our scent.
Well, he's our friend.
Use him as
so
bait. We're busy here.
Goes back to just. She just goes back.
sacrifice him to the
helping.
eels. Okie dokie. That seems bad somehow. Am I making the wrong friends? Is this all going very, very wrong?
I would still like to point out that all of this did not start until you got here.
And now, as they are, and it's from what you can tell, it appears to be a he. I don't know that we ever. I'm not sure if we established that, but you see, he's running up, and the eels that were down there had kind of disappeared, left, and everything, and they're running up toward the tower, and then suddenly one of the eels jumps out of the lava again and starts chasing him through the air. And so now, as you are working on the telescope, your little chicken-cursed redcap friend is being pursued by this one of these lava eels.
Should we save him?
I mean, Parsley said to just leave him there as a distraction. And she's the smart one.
Perfect maneuver. We're outnumbered, and no one wants to touch fire.
I mean, there's 5 of us now and 2 of those weird snake things. So we're the one, but
I can't even handle one.
I don't know. I'm conflicted.
I guess I can try to help him out. And I will spend to make a friend the same size as you. Nope, that's not gonna work. Just kidding.
What's the wording on things?
Spend 1 spirit to make a friend the same size as you. But the eel, I only made friends with 1 eel. I was
Okay.
gonna shrink the eel again to give our chicken friend an advantage.
I would go help him, but Parsley said not to. So, now I'm
Putting
not
it on
sure.
Parsley's plate. Well, thus far, the redcap is keeping ahead of the eel because this redcap is running very, very fast in his iron boots, and the Aqualaria, you get all the pieces. You and Parsley get all the pieces into place. While your redcap is everybody helped. Yes, everybody helped. But you,
By not getting involved.
I am gonna help our chicken friend actually. Where did my writing utensil go? I'm going to spend a spirit to give him really scary fangs, so he can chomp at the eel.
I mean, he's pretty far away. Can you do that from all the way over here?
There is no range listed.
yeah,
On
there.
the side of the planet it is.
It's
Boom.
reasonable. Well, I mean, you can see, you have line of effect. Like your magic can travel from
Yeah.
you to the thing, and you can
I
see
would-
well enough to target what you're trying to do. What are you specifically doing?
I want to use minor flesh magic.
Okay,
to
so you're going to craft nasty
chicken
teeth.
fangs.
This poor
Yeah,
guy.
so he can bite back.
Not enough that he's a chicken. Now he has a horrible mouth.
Being chased by a lava eel.
Like you could have given it bigger legs or something so it could run faster, but no.
Gonna fight back. I can't. There's a limit. to what I can-
Go ahead and give
I'm-
me a heart check, target number 5, to give our redcap chicken person.
Okay.
Fangs.
And then again, I have helping. I'm using minor magic and helping others. So 1 additional die.
For the minor magic, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Come on, I only need one more shadow. Fiddlesticks. I got.
Wait, what was my target number?
Target number 5.
I only got one.
Oh no, gain a spirit. And the red cap suddenly has like this massive maw of fangs. And he realizes it, and he whirls around and becomes a carnivorous chicken-cursed red cap with iron boots. And how many different ways can we mess up this red cap before this campaign is over? We'll find out. And he starts fighting back against the lava
Okay,
eel.
guys, my money's on the red cap.
I don't know if biting the lava thing is going to be super helpful. Should I go help him, even though Posty said not to?
I mean, I think he's good for now. We gotta find out. We can help him on the way out, because, like, we're probably gonna have to go that way anyways.
We do have to go back down.
Yeah.
Unless we want to go to this side of the thing and jump up and down and then ride the whole building down the side.
He jumps up and down, and the building doesn't shake or shift or anything.
That could be fun.
So gets an evil look.
That'll be plan B.
Okay.
And while all of you are debating and talking about whether or not you want to go help your red cap friend, the red cap tears the snake to pieces.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
then continues up the hill toward all of you.
Oh, he totally killed
Waving a
it.
little pennant.
I hope
And
he's
back
not mad at you for giving him those fangs.
back to the telescope. Well, the fangs they're not permanent. They will dissipate.
No,
here.
they're temporary.
Yeah. By the time he gets up there, effectively his fight is over, and the fangs dissipate. His mouth goes back to just being a red cap mouth pretending to be a chicken. Aqualaria, you've got the telescope functioning and are currently hostile lava eel free.
And let's get moving. Okay, so telescope operation commence. Using what I know and trying to get it to function.
Okay.
I will, without hesitation or thought, spend whatever energy of my own personal is needed to make it function.
Sure. You spend a spirit. Look into the eyepiece, and then kind of you get a feeling washes over you as you sort of become one with the telescope. You start to understand kind of how it functions, and you just start to reach out without even looking. You're reaching out and you're pulling levers, and you're causing the thing to turn and pivot, and you're looking. You're just starting to look through it, and as you're looking through it, you're seeing the focal point change dramatically, like as you're kind of like figuring the controls out. So you're looking a little ways down the slope, and then you're looking all the way back toward the Briarwood, and then you're looking, it pivots over here, and you're looking all the way over here, and seeing all these different places that come into focus briefly, and then the telescope direction shifts, and you start to look at something else. And I had a suggestion out there for what, other than seeing things very far away, what's unique about the telescope, and somebody suggested that if you you can use it to look inside yourself and see a truth about yourself, but don't know if it will be good or bad. So,
You're welcome.
I'm going to do this. You can choose to look inside yourself as you're using this telescope. And if you choose to do that, I will have you roll a die. And if you roll low, 1, 2, 3, the result is bad. And if you roll high, 4, 5, 6, the result is good. And then I'll tell you what they are. But you have to decide and roll the die before I tell you anything.
Oh, yeah, no, totally doing that.
Okay. Roll a die, please. What is it?
1.
A 1. Okay. you the view inside the telescope suddenly goes black. And you see a desolate wood at dusk, and it's filled with fog. The trees are mostly bereft of leaves. And you can't see anyone or anything, but you're sure that there is something far out in that fog that is looking right at you. And you hear a voice in your head. No one else hears this, only you. And it says, "Tell them you can't find the unicorn, and I will reward you. Tell them the telescope is broken." Tell them.
No.
And you fight back against the voice, and you gain a shadow.
Yes!
And then you use that spirit you spent. The darkness fades and goes back to. Well, let's do this background for that. I don't have a volcano. We'll go back to this. The darkness fades. You look back, looking out across the land, and you can attempt to hone in with a. And this is using magic, so you're using heart. It'll be a heart check to hone in on the on what you're looking for, whatever that might be. Yeah, you're still. I assume you're saying unicorn.
But just thinking unicorn.
Okay.
Concept.
So you're looking for a unicorn. Any other thoughts there, Sparky, on what the volume thing might be here?
Gotta be that. It's gotta be something in the audio settings for Discord. Or it's the microphone itself, but that seems unusual.
The microphone is registering that it hears me. So
Right.
Yeah, it's just not transmitting you to us like right away at the beginning of the sentence. Like sometimes you get partway through the sentence before we hear you.
Yeah.
And you're sure that automatically adjust microphone volume is off?
yes, it is off.
Huh.
Okay. Well, we'll do as best we can. I'll try to make sure. I think we have the best luck when nobody else is talking. So if you want to try to interrupt somebody, like give me a motion to make sure I get you, so that we don't have you trying to talk on top of somebody else. That's where we're having, I think, the most problems. Yes, people. Seems like that's what I'm noticing. I don't know if that's been other people's perceptions.
And
So.
I can hear myself just fine.
So, okay. So you go looking for a unicorn, and you find a goat with a single horn. No, you find a unicorn. So just for fun, Junie, tell me what kind of a setting the unicorn is in.
The unicorn is walking through the forest, looking a little distraught because the glade it usually spends its time in is starting to be corrupt. And so it's sort of, what should be a beautiful waterfall and trees and animals everywhere. It's sort of like doing that angry horse thing where they like shake their head. And it's pacing back and forth.
Okay, so it is in a forest that you can clearly see this forest is succumbing to the corruption of the void. Trees are dying, leaves are shriveling up and blowing off. Like nothing, none of the leaves. Like this is unnatural, very unnatural to you as a woodkin. When leaves fall, the green turns to yellow or orange or red over the course of time, slowly, and then eventually they kind of become brown and fall off. Where the leaves here are either green or they are brown and curled up and on the ground. There's nothing in between. And small plant life is like relatively bare of leaves. You don't see any flowering of any sort. There's no sort of fruit visible on any of the plants. And it's as suggested by in the chat as well. You see the unicorn is kind of walking and searching, and it finds a plant that's got like a bit of greenery on it, and it nibbles some of the remaining green leaves and eats, and then it starts looking around, and you're not an expert on horsies, but it is looking a little haggard and gaunt, like it hasn't ate or it hasn't ate well. It is perhaps dehydrated. It's not healthy. And you see that, and you get a sense of where that is. You basically, at this point, and another character can try to pinpoint that unicorn and do this as well. But for right now, you and you alone are like a dowsing rod to that location. Okay. You can find, because you're not a dowsing rod to the unicorn. You're a dowsing rod to that location, because the telescope finds locations. So you can find, you always kind of know where that is, and it's a little ways away. Like it's a bit of a trek.
Okay, well, I will back off from the telescope, because that was an adventure all on its own. All right.
All of you, quick note, as Aqualaria was looking through the telescope, she was like, running, moving levers and twisting dials and turning and moving with the thing, and then all of a sudden just stopped. And you didn't realize that it happened, Aqualaria, but your mouth dropped open, and all of the leaves on her body kind of fell like limp briefly, and a couple of them curled up and fell off. Curled up in brown and paper-like and fell off. And now she turns back to you. So you've seen that happen to her when using the telescope.
Okay. Seen that. I know where we're going. Kind of.
Are you okay?
Sure. For now, we're good. It's good. We should do this quickly. That would be good.
Okay.
Are we bringing our red cap friend with us?
He's here. We might as well.
Hi, buddy.
Surprised
It was an awesome
that
fight
he
you had
found
with
us.
that snake thing.
It was really cool.
And I guess he's really good at tracking, too, because he followed us.
Maybe we can use him to help us find the unicorn.
Right? That's what I was thinking. I mean, he looks so smart, too. All right, buddy. Do you happen to know where the unicorn is? Just, point the way. Lead on, my friend.
So I point.
The red cap just goes.
Man, I wish I understood that language.
Yeah.
That's the chicken. All right. I am heading down the stairs. Let's go, everybody. Let's get the heck out of here.
As you head down the stairs, there's a gigantic rumble in the ground, and this time the building itself does shake. Everybody looks to Sparky. Sparky's not jumping up and down. The building is shaking for other reasons.
I knew this would happen. Okay, which way are we gonna tip in? Are we gonna go into the volcano?
The building.
Or onto that side, or are we gonna go down the building, the side of the mountain?
The building you get down to the lower level, and like I said, the bottom of the lower level of the building is much wider and bigger than the just that single tower, and the building a part of it cracks, and one of the walls like starts to tilt outward.
No.
As you see lava like slosh and swarm around the building, and this one large piece of stone kind of falls onto it like a raft.
Oh no!
And there are 5 of you, well, technically with your snake friend, 6 of you, and only 2 of you fly. Naturally.
All right.
And I need to see, like, how are you all going to get out of this building, because you're surrounded by lava. And there's a big stone raft that's going to get carried along by the lava. That'll be nice. But this is our big cinematic moment of riding the lava raft.
Riding the lava down and that lava is headed back toward the forest at least.
It's headed down the slope, yeah.
Okay, good.
Now, I mean, on your way from the forest here, you kind of went through some ups and downs, so it wasn't like a climb the whole way. You don't think that the lava from this volcano will end up in the forest, because it'll eventually hit a low point.
Right.
We're gonna get a ramp though.
Sparky, are you fireproof?
Sort of.
Okay.
So he takes the lead.
Oh, you want me to hop on the thing first? Okay. I'll hop on the rock.
Okay. Give me. This is going to be body checks for everybody. Sparky jumps first.
Another
body check target number 4, because it's the raft is right there.
Ooh. I fail.
You fail.
I'm just gonna be okay. Let's do this right. 1, 2, huh?
What are your fears?
Suffocating and being trapped. So I think I just hop in the lava.
No, you panic. Like you're like, this thing's gonna float away from you, and you're gonna be trapped. And so Sparky.
I don't think that works, because I'm not scared of the lava all that much. Like, I could survive jumping in the lava, so I think I just submerge and can't swim up.
Does it say somewhere on your character sheet that you are immune to fire?
I can turn into a fire elemental. So
Okay.
that was one of the body shapes I chose specifically for this.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay, so you'll do that. Fine, we'll say we'll do that, so we don't have a fear that really applies. Yeah, you go to jump in. You're gonna go into the lava.
And then I'll transform into a fire elemental as I do the jump, because I know I'm gonna miss.
And so your friend like just suddenly catches fire, and none of you have ever seen this before. As he hits the lava, he just bursts into flame.
Yeah.
Maybe.
General shape difference as well, but it's difficult to see from the distance.
And I'm gonna put you the complication, because I mean you failed, so there's a complication here. Basically, you're doing all you can at this point to just get yourself up onto the raft, and keep yourself in that form and keep yourself safe. So you're not going to be in a position to help anybody. The part of what can happen here too is, like, if somebody gets onto the raft, they can help somebody else get on, and blah blah blah. Where you're going to be like out of commission for that for the time being. So that's the complication. Who else is jumping onto the raft, or does anybody else have any fancy
how
ideas?
big is Parsley?
Parsley's a bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
So, right?
Okay, but bunnies can be bunny and bunnies can be bunny.
No, she's a regular sized rabbit. So like fits in your hands if you're human.
Okay, so if you, I'm gonna hang on to your back, and maybe you take a running leap, and when you jump, I'll fly, and we can use momentum, and I can help carry you.
Junie, you can tell, like, seeing Sparky just like take the jump and then just within seconds turn into a fire elemental and is in the lava. Like, her fur is stiff. She is like as if Rabbit is about to be consumed by a predator, and she doesn't look like she wants to jump. it was one thing to just like, oh, this is heat. It's another to see someone that she was starting to care for just kind of go up in flames? Question mark.
Okay. Ooh, I have a thing for this. Junie is going to start stroking Parsley like in between the ears and say, "It's okay. Do you remember when we were little and it started to get really dark and we couldn't remember how to get home and I got really, really, really scared and you were so brave and I was freaking out so much and you helped me get home. Well, now it's my turn to help you get home. And just like I trusted you, now you have to trust me." And I want to use my talent Fear Begone. Tell a calming story to remove the effects of a character's fear until the end of the scene. And so she wants to use this story to remind Parsley like that they trust each other and that they're always there for each other, to sort of like calm her down a little so that she can make the jump.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We'll do this.
We can do this.
Yeah. We can do this.
No.
I won't go up in flames.
While this discussion is taking place, long-legged, because you had to take a little time to tell a story, long-legged Woodkin Aqualaria, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm running full tilt for a raft.
Sure, body check, but we're going to do that, I think, with disadvantage, because fire all around, right?
Yep.
You're effectively under a fear effect at this point.
Okay, so that means I'm removing one die from my available.
Right, you lose one die, but you can spend a spirit to gain that die. To gain a die back. Or if you have any abilities any talents that do anything, that will help you. Keep that in mind.
Are any of those vines from the outside of the building in the vicinity?
Mm-hmm.
That would
sure.
be the only thing. Okay, so I will use a spear. Actually, I have vine twine, so it says spend a spirit to animate a plant no larger than a small tree to do the thing that a plant would do.
Sure.
And
so you can make a handful of vines move around and do stuff.
Right, exactly. And what I want to do is use a handful of vines to extend out to the to our little wall raft in a bridge-like fashion as much as is possible for vines to create a bridge-like structure.
Sure. Effectively creating like a rope bridge.
Yeah, essentially, like the three, like
right. Yeah, for the two for the hands and one for the feet.
Yeah,
maybe exactly. A couple for the feet. And so spend a spirit. You do that. A bunch of the vines reach out and grab a hold of the raft, which now slows its movement a little bit. That helps to kind of keep it from floating away too quickly in the process. And so now you have a bridge. So that's we'll take the target number from 5 back down to 4. It's easier to do.
Okay.
For that, and you could still technically have. This is going to be a body check now. It's more of like a balance check than anything. And you spent spirit on the talent, but you could technically still spend spirit on making the body check to make the crossing. Keeping that in mind, everybody, too. You can spend multiple spirit in a round as long as it's being spent on different things that require spirit. Normally, you can only spend one on a die on a trait check. I'm sorry.
I said I am going to do that because otherwise I only have one die. So
that's bad. Bad news. Okay.
Not.
Okay. Here's hoping. Target number 4. Oh no.
Whitkin is going into the drink.
Well. Here's the thing. You are big and tall, and you've got a bridge to help you do this. So you fail. You get yourself across, like halfway across, and then you flop forward. But in the process, you scrape your feet and your lower legs into the like a skim across the lava. Mark one physical condition
Got it.
And now you're injured a bit. Do you just have the one condition thus far?
I just have the one, yeah.
Okay, so like right now you don't lose any dice on checks, but if you gain another condition, it starts to become penalties to trait checks. So you get across, but you're hurt, and you're lying on the raft, and we're gonna say paralyzed with fear.
Yes.
At this point. So now we're back to the courageous duo. Can we get everybody? Can we get anybody to jump across successfully?
But does the bridge stay in place?
It does temporarily, as long as they really hustle.
So they can jump on your body now. So
That's true. You're kind of
You know, anything I can do to help.
jump on your burnt legs.
Yeah, after just seeing Aqualaria, just try. She's Parsley is just like, all right, going. My legs are moving. My mind's just kind of left behind.
Okay, we're gonna call it a target number 4 for you, and only because you are tiny, and the rope bridge really doesn't help you because you can't reach the handholds. But you're a bunny rabbit and you jump, so that kind of helps.
And like Junie's got her by the scruff and is like, as she jumps, she's like, ah! Trying to.
Junie's like, if you go in the lava,
Right.
I go in the lava.
Yes.
Okay, let's see how this turns out.
This is gonna be fail. No.
2 hits.
2, you jump handily across onto the raft, mark a shadow, and you jump across with like, and that's with a boon, so like across and with finesse, and you land like, ta-da, like it, like, that was spectacular. The flying lava eel that's with you. Have you named the eel?
No.
Give it some thought. We'll see if you come up with a name.
Okay.
'Cause I keep just calling it the lava eel. We want a ridiculous fire-based pun name, right?
Yes.
And
Go to the Googles.
your red cap friend
Laverne.
jumps across just fine because he's got these iron boots that do some amazing things.
Nice.
And now you are all on the raft, and the vines snap and let go, and now you are slowly, because lava doesn't move that quickly, slowly floating along on a river of lava down the hillside.
Is Sparky still in the lava?
Yep.
He's holding onto the raft and just kind of
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trying
do you
to-
know how-
slowly
I'll
scrambling,
crawl
trying to
up on
get
it.
himself
You know-
up on it.
Do you know how to swim? Can you like be our rudder? Kick. But you're like you're fire. You're not solid. It shouldn't be hard.
Will you try it then?
No thanks.
And I'm just trying to climb on the raft.
Slowly make your way up there. And so we've got everybody on the raft floating down the river of lava. I think that it's a touch early to do this, but we might as well because this is a good time for us to take a brief break. Junie can give some thought to naming her.
His
her
name
pet.
is Bernie.
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 Wow,
Yeah, that's perfect.
that is top notch.
Can we call the
Good job.
cap fillet?
What's that?
Shall we call the red cap fillet?
If you want to.
Aw.
Did we know his name before he became a chicken?
I came up with a
so.
name. I came up with a name, but we never.
We never asked.
So you want to
Sanders.
Sanders?
He used to be a colonel.
there you
but,
go.
Yeah.
Oh, so Bernie and Sanders.
Yes. Yes.
That works so well.
Right? It's almost like it's meant to be.
Okay.
I know.
So there we go.
Stamp of approval.
So Junie, Sparky, Parsley, Aqualaria, and Bernie and Sanders are now traveling down a lava river on a stone raft. And we'll be able to get off of it eventually, but we're going to take like 5 minutes or so, and we'll be back here very shortly. Hello, everybody. We are back. And sneeze. No, Liz, no sneeze?
No.
Liz was threatening, like, I gotta sneeze.
I know I've got to sneeze. Feel
What a letdown.
Yeah, no kidding. All
Sorry.
that build-up.
I'll just
Oh.
quit now.
The sequel. I hope the sequel's better.
I know.
So the group of you are floating down it's not a river, it's a lake. It's a slow-moving lake of lava. On a big stone raft, having left behind an old ancient ruin with a telescope on it that allows you to see very, very far away. And Sparky, are you up on the raft yet? Did you manage to?
I think I managed to crawl onto the thing. Standing up, Sparky's fire elemental form is about twice his normal size. No feet, just a tail. And the lantern is like inside of his body now, and he'll just say, "I'm tired now," and he'll into the lantern, and the lantern will clank onto the raft.
And we have an injured part. Woodkin down. Injured character.
Injured tree.
Injured tree.
Medic.
Burned tree. As you are, you gain a moment of respite now, where you are surrounded by danger, but you are not in immediate danger of of falling into lava. Nothing's burbling up next to you. Nothing's attacking you. So I'll leave it to you to kind of recover here at this moment from the situation that you're in.
I don't have anything that can do that.
I'm doing it right now.
I'm double checking and jumping and looking at the rules because there are rules for healing and fixing yourself.
Yeah,
I
I
just-
can.
I have too many things on this screen.
Only one way to fix yourself: therapy.
That's right.
Oh God, Sparky the therapist. Oh dear Lord.
You lay down on the couch, and then I'll hit your head with this big hammer. I mean, it's gonna change something at the very least. And if your present is bad, change is good.
So here's what you got. You can just be injured, like you're not actually suffering any penalties, and you can just play the character injured. Healing works like this: if you want to remove a condition, like uncheck the worst condition on your sheet, you take the time to patch up the wound and fix it up, or to calm yourself and get out of that emotional state, and you spend 2 skill. So healing yourself actually slows your advancement, because skill is normally that's the track that fills up and allows you to advance your character. And another character can do that for you, in which case they spend the 2 skill in order to remove the condition. Or you can just leave the condition, and then there are certain characters that have talents that are able to heal things.
I would just like to point out that Sanders has 1 shadow. Because in looking at the rules, if you kill a sapient creature or NPC, mark 1 shadow.
Oh.
Our red cap
Is it
friends.
sapient?
I don't think that that creature was intelligent. That was not a sapient being.
Junie takes offense at that. She loves her new BFF.
Well, and you can go ahead, and Judy can go ahead and believe whatever she wants to believe about all that, because quite frankly,
doesn't bite.
because this isn't a video game, and you
I
can't
know.
you can't look at Sanders and you don't see a little ding of a shadow
know.
marker above their
know.
head, so you don't
She
know.
does only have a mind of 1, so.
That's fair. So that's there you go. That's the whole deal with healing and normal. And the way it works is you can only, I think you can only remove. You can only do this once for the emotion track and once for the physical track during a story. So you can't be constantly just healing.
Right.
Like heroes sometimes have to overcome physical injury or fear.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Okay.
It's fine with.
So you're walking around slightly. Aquilary is. You all smell like just the faint. The faint smell of a bonfire that's just gone out, like just that that pleasant just like kind of smoky.
For everybody else.
which
Do you have some marshmallows?
Min, does that work?
And as you're floating along on your raft on the lava, the slow-moving lava river, you start to hear a sound.
Uh-oh. Is there a dog somewhere?
Flying.
It is a sound coming from above.
Helicopter?
It is. It's like an ornithopter, a big magical contraption that has these big blades that come out from the center of it that spin around, and there's some sort of magical contraption machine underneath it, and a platform with legs that sit down like this thing could come down and rest. It looks like almost like a little stage, but with this thing on it, and with a railing around it. And there's a person, there's a two-legged, two-armed person, a humanoid, a person who is you can't make out all the details just at this moment, but they're up there, and they look like they're kind of doing similar to what Aquilaria was doing with the telescope, where they're operating levers and they're moving. And this thing is like slowly flying over to you.
Junie transforms into Firefly and starts like beep 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 beep.
Morse code.
Yes.
Yes, I love it.
I'll do it as well with with my inner lantern light.
Like runway
We all
lights.
need to light up.
Do we all need to light up? Parsley lights up. She has she's just
Parsley
like, okay,
can
we're
create
lighting
light
up.
as well.
My hand in the lava, but that's not happening.
No.
It's like
So
completely different direction.
three lights will have to be enough. You could grab the fire snake and wave it.
There you go.
There you go.
And in time, the person piloting this craft sees you and starts to kind of pilot the machine, the ornithopter, down closer and closer to you, and is now hovering up above you. And they kick a rope ladder over the side that uncoils down. And they managed, like, at first the rope ladder kind of comes down and it clips it just barely, like, almost hits the lava, but it's just short enough that it just kind of skips across the top. And then they readjust where they're kind of flying, and they're like doing their best because they're like having to, like, they're in the middle of this platform thing. It's not huge, but they have to kind of like lean, like way out to kind of see where you are and get a sense, and they're kind of tilting the thing a little bit to kind of look over the edge.
The rope ladder is not on fire.
It is
and
not
didn't
on
just
fire.
Turn into a fuse. Okay. good.
No, it is not on fire. It's not on fire yet. But it is a rope ladder that's hanging down for all of you.
Yes. I will accept the offer of a rope ladder and get off of the stone platform floating in the middle of lava. Because flight seems like a much more appropriate option.
Okay, so you start making your way up the rope ladder. Give me a body check, target number 4. We've got a flyer. We've got, and then we've
Actually, Sparky's in lamp form, right?
got currently.
I'll take it with me.
Well, that's what the thing is built for. So
Yeah, so you
pick it up.
Okay, so you grab the lamp. Is the lamp on a chain?
Yes.
Perfect. So you can sling that around your arm or your head. You got one. Take a. What?
I got A4.
Okay.
I got one success.
That's good enough. You climb up, gain a spirit. You and Sparky get up aboard the ornithopter to see what you assume is a human,
Actual human.
which we defined back at the beginning of the first session as humans are like creatures of legend. They are beings of legend. They are believed by many to be almost myths. They cause destruction, and they're gigantic. Was one of the things we described, monstrous and loud. This one is not gigantic. It is smaller than you, Aqualaria, but certainly larger than the rest of your friends. And we also established that they are, their terrible, horrible, destructive nature. They can be fooled and quelled with entertainments. Like if you can get them watching something entertaining, they will stop doing whatever horrible thing it is that humans do according to the myths.
Okay. I'm gonna stand there, looking amazed, because even as I'm the oldest person involved in this particular situation, I haven't seen one of these before.
Tell me how he's dressed. I have no idea what age or era of Earth this person comes from.
How about one of those leather caps with the goggles?
Steampunk here. So like older gentleman with the aviator goggles and a top hat.
Top
And
hat.
the leather flying jacket.
Oh, he's the around the world in 80 days guy.
Victorian-ish
Yes.
era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Victorian steampunk kind of thing.
Okay. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, hello, Frederick Small. Climb aboard."
Fox. Dude, literally just standing there looking amazed. That's
Okay,
all I'm
so
doing.
they just stop at the top of the ladder, back down to the raft. The chicken starts to climb up the rope. Your flying pet, Sanders and Bernie are making their way up. We have a situation here with a bunny rabbit who cannot climb a ladder.
Say.
And a flying pixie.
As Parsley sees everyone, just kind of goes ahead, like before she can even say anything, she looks down at her paws. She wishes she has posable thumbs, and she's like,
Junie pops back into her pixie form. Can I? So I have flesh magic. Can I
Yes.
give her little human hands?
You can give her little human hands.
This is gonna be hard.
Junie, you're giving me the look like you're about to do something that I might not like.
Maybe you shouldn't look.
Well, you're very familiar with human hand, like human hands, like normal 5-fingered opposable
Yes.
thumbs hands. So this is going to be a heart check target number 4
Okay.
to give the bunny rabbit horrifying, nightmare-inducing people hands.
And what am I rolling?
Heart.
Heart. Okay.
Heart. Your magic is always heart magic.
Okay.
Two successes. So you give her lovely hands, like little human
I
hands.
have also filled my shadow.
Okay, you mark shadow. We'll handle that in just a moment. You got a boon on top of that as well. So if you wanted to do anything else minor that relates to that magic, we could give
Monkey feet.
monkey feet. So human hands and monkey feet. 4 opposable thumbs for the bunny rabbit.
This was being greedy.
Has to finger some forms, and she's feeling her feet just starting to shift. She just opens up one eye and just like,
Go with it.
Junie, we're gonna have a long talk at the end of this. A
Okay.
long talk.
and she tries her best to climb and just grab something for the very first time.
Sure. It's a little. I mean, it takes a moment to kind of figure out how to use it. But part of the magic is like the magic makes it work. Like you're not suddenly like you I have no idea what these things do. You've seen this before. You just like
Oh, yeah, I was
takes
just
takes
getting used
takes a
to
few
it.
seconds to get used to it, and you start to do it, and you go to climb. And you're going to do this at target number. It's going to be target number 5 because the rungs are spaced a little far apart for you. But you do it with advantage because you've got monkey feet too.
All right.
So it's a body
that
check,
is-
target number 5.
I'm gonna spend spirit.
People are spending
That-
spirit like crazy to make sure they don't fall in lava. Imagine that.
Okay,
You do.
1.
Got 1. Well, you get that spirit back. And the nightmare human monkey bunny hybrid climbs up the ladder and will make it successfully to the top once the woodkin gets out of the way.
Yes, the woodkin was out of the way of the ladder.
And climbs out of the way, and up comes your red cap. Everybody makes their way up, and we'll say that that was kind of a. We'll say that like this is all going to continue to be part of that scene, so that you can. We need to make sure that the bunny has human hands and monkey feet longer than just a climb up the ladder, because that's
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
no
yeah.
it's no
No,
fun
for
if
sure.
it's over too quickly. So
Whole trip. I don't know where we're going.
rest of the
whole
camp,
time.
rest of the campaign. It's back. Magical backfire just stays forever. And now you are all on the ornithopter with a human, an older gentleman, with he's graying hair, facial hair, mustache and beard, mustache and Van Gogh. And a top hat and goggles and like a black tailcoat jacket that's seen better days. It's kind of beat up, and he's seated on a chair that it's a wooden chair. You've seen like the seat and the back of the chair look very normal. You've seen these before, but the bottom of the chair, there's a post in the middle, and then it shoots out into 4 legs, and there's little balls on the end. They're like little wheels on the end, and the chair swivels around and it rolls around the platform. And so he's moving around, kind of shifting, and he's swiveling and turning and moving around the platform, hitting these levers, and operating this magical ornithopter. And he looks as the others of you get up there. He says, "Hello, welcome aboard and what's this called? What's his? He's got to have a name for this thing, right? The HMS. It's going to be Her Majesty's Service, right? Or Her Majesty's ship.
Ooh. I'm not good at family-friendly puns.
The fog machine.
The what?
It's the fog machine.
The HMS Fog Machine.
Yeah, after after Phileas Fogg, the 80 Days guy.
Fog with 2 G's. Gotcha. The HMS
He invented it.
the HMS Phineas Fogg.
Yes.
There you go.
Junie immediately hisses and goes, "Human!"
Still looking amazed.
Game, let's just take this ship. I don't know who you are. Do you cast fire? Let's just.
So
Parsley is like upset.
I pop out of the
With their
lab
little
and
human
then
hands crossed.
go over to hide behind Posty. Don't let him get me.
Frederick-
He's a human.
Frederick sees the woodkin and then hears like the lamp talking and
No, I
sees
pop
all
out
of you.
the lamp. I
Oh,
can't
you pop
talk
out,
when I'm in
sees
the lamp.
sees the imp, sees all of you, and takes all of it in stride until he sees Parsley. And then his mouth falls open and he looks at you in awe.
What,
And-
you see your ass before? I'll fight you. I'll fight you.
And you're up
Hey,
on.
something's different about you, Bosley. I can't quite put my
Tired.
finger
I'm
on it.
I'm tired of the fire yells. Now we gotta deal with this guy, whoever he is, and then I don't know what's next. What's gonna top this?
I mean, we could
Say
find a
moving
dragon in the air or something.
There could be another human.
Yeah, there could be 2 humans.
More than one?
Are
Should
you like the last
this
human?
one over the side?
Did you make the volcano erupt?
Hey, Mr. Human, do you want some berries?
I don't think you should give those to him while he's piloting the ship. That seems bad.
Aren't we gonna steal it?
I mean, do you know how to drive this thing? I don't.
Parsley can figure it out.
I'm going to.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'm going to.
Parsley's real smart. Go right ahead, Junie.
I'm going to assume you're saying that like quietly under your breath, kind of.
Not at
Nice,
all.
nice and loud.
Nope.
Okay, very
Having
good.
this conversation.
As
Frederick,
far as we know, humans are deaf.
Captain Small, if he is a captain, he didn't introduce himself as a captain, but he is captaining this ship. Looks at you all with this very British bemused, like up goes one eyebrow. It would be perfect if he had a single monocle and it popped
Monocle?
out as he said,
Yeah.
as he looked at all of you saying all this. It's like, now there'll be no hijinks on board the HMS Phineas Fogg here. We're going to. He kind of looks out. There's no good place to land just now, so we need to all keep very still, and just enjoy the view as I go to find a place to put this down.
Could you go that way? That's the way we gotta go, right? Aqualaria? It's that way, right?
Point.
Yeah, take
Oh,
us
it's the
there.
other
We'll
way. I
kill
got it
you.
wrong. It's this way. We should go this way. Also, I don't think we're actually gonna kill you, because that's bad. And only bad people kill. What? It's
He says, of course, we can go that direction, of course. And he kind of starts to, fiddle with levers, and he kind of turns the ship and starts to move that direction. You get this.
So did you make the volcano erupt?
Oh, heavens no. I was surveying the landscape. I was traveling this land, looking about, finding all sorts of wonderful things going on, and noticed that things seem to be going sour here. What's happening? What's going on? This is only my 3rd trip here, and previously things had been lovely whenever I visited Reverie, and now it's there's something very, very bad happening.
Oh, you're not
Ah,
from
you're
here.
here. I'd say that's really bad.
Sparky, you're off the hook.
Oh,
Put blame
yeah.
on this guy.
It's probably his fault. You're the bad guy. You should go to, like, jail or something.
The bad
Jail.
bad guy. What? No. I'm just.
Keep us in the air.
I'm just here to explore and see this beautiful land. I'm pleased to make all your acquaintances. What can I do to make you trust me other than save your lives?
Go away.
Are you sure you didn't bring all this shadow business?
Shadow?
Yeah, all the darkness stuff, and there's gonna be shades soon.
Humans always bring trouble.
Oh, all the wrong things, all the bad things that are happening here? No, heavens, no. I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I've
sure?
heard rumors that these fancy human machines give off all sorts of bad energy.
Yeah, they got this
Rumors,
big,
you say?
big metal spike on the front, and they dig all the way through the earth. And
Yeah.
then everything falls into each other, and we all die.
Well, I can assure you, this contraption does not burrow through the earth. That would be most frightening. And frankly, this vessel is not built for such a thing. It's very open.
I mean, okay, I guess you're off the hook at this thing because couldn't do that.
Are there more of you?
More of
Yeah,
people.
Humans.
Humans.
You know,
Oh
with
yes.
The arms, and
Oh.
the legs, and those little ears you got.
Heavens, yes, many millions of us back home. Very few,
Millions?
very,
Millions?
very few of us here.
That's a number I can't even comprehend.
My understanding is that only a
It's
few
more than
of
like
my
100, right?
my understanding is that only a few of my kind have ever come to visit your lovely land. Most do not
Right.
possess the means to travel to such a place.
Oh, hey, he can get out of here. You know, if this world is gonna go down the toilet, maybe, you know, you can open the door and then we can all just go to the next place.
Where the humans are? I don't think so.
I mean, maybe not that place. Maybe there's other places.
I've heard rumors that they keep animals in cages.
I mean, the ones that commit crimes, I
Start
imagine.
back up again.
You know, bank robbers.
Come on. Put him up. Put him up.
Let me at him, Uncle Scoob.
I will say that back where I come from, there are animals that are taken to what we refer to as zoos. They are placed in cages. They are kept there. They are treated well. They are fed. They are given water. They are allowed to have children, baby animals. People come to see them because they're animals from far, far away that people do not have the opportunity to view up close. And
Oh, you turned your
They're
prison
treated-
into a
they're-
theme
they're
park?
tre-
That seems a little
they're
weird.
treated very well.
People pay money to watch them? Oh.
And Junie like floats down to the ground and looks faint.
Yeah, that seems really weird to like charge money to people to visit your prison.
Yeah. I think that's called exploitation.
Uh-huh. You might want to work
And
on
you
your
quickly,
justice system.
you quickly invent animal rights activism.
Yes.
Well, we did invent welding earlier.
Well,
so,
well,
you know.
would it put your mind to ease to tell you that I personally have never been involved in such things? I am an inventor. I'm a creator. I'm a traveler and an explorer. I have never taken animals from their home. I have no interest in doing that. I prefer to travel to other creatures and other people's homes to see their place, where they live, see who they are and what they are.
Well,
You
you're
build
humans.
machines.
So by default, I don't trust a single word you say.
And you just said that you build machines like the one with the giant spike on the front that burrows through the earth and then makes everything
I
collapse.
do
And that
not- I
farts
do-
out bad gas.
I do not build such a machine. I built a machine like this, and then I brought it here when I learned that there was magics, and I spoke with a trio of sylphs, of wind spirit people with their flying magics, and they helped me to make this thing function better here, where this machine doesn't function properly. Back where I come from, the technology is not quite advanced enough, but the magic helps.
Of course, it is sylphs. They always think they're better than the rest of us. Oh, we're fancy spirits. Oh.
Did you
Wow.
happen to see a unicorn as you were flying over this whole place?
There's unicorns here.
I mean, of course.
He looks to the woodkin and sees that you're injured and says, "Are you well? Do you require aid?" I don't know what I could do, but
Don't know that there is anything that can be done right now. So, thank you, but no, I'm fine. Can we be on the ground soon, please? Though that would be neat.
of course, we'll find a place to set down here as soon as we get away from the lava of all things. And he sort of laughs, but it's a nervous like laugh. And he goes back to piloting the
Not so fun to
machine.
swim in.
I would say not. Wait, you can swim in such.
I mean, I don't want to, but yeah,
Goodness,
you gotta learn how to survive.
that is fantastic.
And in my world, you only got rocks and you got fire, and you don't need any help surviving rocks unless they fall on you, which stopped happening after the humans left.
And
So there's just fire.
he continues to pilot the machine, and engages in light banter. If anybody has anything specific they want to talk to each other about or talk to him about, we can cover that. But otherwise, he's it's a lot of niceties. He's happy to tell you like the places he's been and seen, and he's primarily like anything he describes is like, oh, that's not terribly far from here, or like he's been around the area where you kind of live or at least know of things.
So
Right.
can you open the door to another place in case we don't, do well with saving this one?
Well, I know where a door exists.
Ah, there we go. Where's it at?
It's under a bridge, strangely. Under a bridge here and under a bridge there.
All right, and that leads to your human world, because I don't think we want to go there.
No, that's the only place. The doorway under the bridge, as far as I can tell, only connects here to my home.
Fudgicles.
And in time, he pilots the ornithopter away, and you kind of get out from the lowland areas back into some areas where the ground rises up again, and you get away from the lava. And he says, "Is there any place in particular you'd like to go? Are we looking for a particular destination, or should I just set down? Are you just happy to not be flying for a time? I suppose this, with the exception of you." And he looks to Junie. I imagine all of this is a bit disconcerting, being up so high for so long. I find myself needing to put feet on the ground as well.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not feeling all that great myself.
No.
So
The berries.
so I did fill.
Oh yeah, we have to cover that. Yeah. Sorry.
And so part of corruption, where'd it go? Is there's like a physical change in your character?
Yeah, there's something about the character kind of becomes a little, the character doesn't like suddenly get enveloped in shadows and become dark skinned or anything like that. But like your hair might be messier, or you might have like a bit of an odor, or like there's some manifestation of your character being corrupted.
So I think as the group maybe turns to look at Junie, and they notice now that her wings, which are usually like this bright, like beautiful blue, just like a juniper berry, are now like shot through with black veins.
She's like, oh, something feels funny.
I don't know if being up so high is good for your wings. They look a little, are they supposed to look like that?
Look like what?
And she turns her head and starts spinning around, trying to see them. Yeah.
Why don't you just look? I'll carry you around. Just take a break. You've been zooming around a lot.
Oh,
anyway
maybe
today, so
maybe I'm just really tired.
Yeah, you can look in the reflection of my lantern thing.
Oh, don't bring the fire too close.
It's out.
Oh.
It's because I'm not in it.
The fire.
I'm what lights up the thing. So it's just a lantern now. It's just a glass cube.
Oh.
You want to see your wings or not?
I guess.
Okay.
And so Junie looks in the reflection and looks at her wings and just goes
And
like,
I'll look from the other side. Can you see him? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you
Oh, I
gonna
don't-
die?
I've never heard of this happening before. Oh.
I heard sometimes, like when something on your body gets really injured, that you should hack it off, and then the rest of your body can be fine. Is that what we should do?
I don't think you're helping.
No?
yeah.
No.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas. But Pasty's a smart one. Here, Pasty, you do something smart, and I'll pick up Pasty and I'll put her next to Junie. Okay, let's see the brains at work. Come on.
She just kind of just shows her back.
Just we'll think on this. Just no flying for a while.
Right. We'll do some thinking. I'll sit down and we'll
Guys, I don't know. I don't feel great about all of this.
If you're gonna hurl, do it off the side.
No, I feel like. I mean, I don't think we should be going with this guy. I don't know. Humans can't be trusted.
I mean, that's true, but he's doing a lot of non-human things, like just being nice and talking to us. And
Yeah,
instead
what do
of
you- why-
digging
you
into
know-
the earth to get rocks, he's flying way up here where there's no rocks anywhere.
Conversation still happening at full volume in front of this guy, just for the record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Why?
Yeah,
why?
he's listening.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
are you suddenly such a fan of the human, huh?
I mean, I'm not a fan of the human.
Well, you're fighting for him.
I don't know if I'm fighting for him, but I'm talking for him. Maybe.
You
I
know,
mean, he does have a door, so
Like the guy either, but I mean, it's either we were gonna be stuck in this or we're gonna probably still be floating down the lava.
I don't want to go in the lava again.
well, I mean, we were just fine on our own. You know, Sparky, you're not even from here. And I don't think you understand just what a problem having human hair are.
I mean, they
You know, maybe
basically
where you're
destroyed my
from,
world, but sure, okay.
well, good for you. But here, you don't want them here.
Right. No, that's totally different. You're right.
And Frederick Small, Captain Small of the HMS Phineas Fogg, sets the magical ornithopter down on a hill quite a ways away from where the last of the lava is. So you are now firmly on the ground again, for those of you who are interested in such things. And he goes to a pack that he had. Like he's got a couple. There's like a chest that's here, and he's got a couple of packs of backpacks or duffels. And he goes to get like something to eat and drink.
He does
and-
have a lot of stuff.
and sets in and gets up and like he starts out by just sitting at the edge of the ornithopter with his feet, he's like sitting on the platform with his feet on the ground with his arms on the rail, and he's just nibbling on like some smoked meat, and he's drinking out of a water skin.
I have a quick mechanic question.
Sure.
So I take
Quick note I'm going to throw out there for the viewers. Liz filled up her character's shadow track, and when that filled up, you then erase all of those back down to 0, and the character gains a corruption. So as the character has been tempted more and more by shadow, they finally succumbed to it. This is something for everybody to keep in mind as well. As you gain shadow, you can offset that. Like in the moment that you would mark shadow, you can choose to spend a spirit to not mark shadow.
Do I take corruption just like a talent, and it's something that I use?
A corruption? Say that again. I'm sorry.
So now that I filled my track, I take a corruption.
You picked one of the 3 you have, right? You don't have
Yeah.
to tell us. You don't have to tell us, but you chose
Okay.
one.
But then it's just something I use in gameplay, like a talent.
Yeah, it functions like a talent. It might require.
Okay.
Generally, corruptions require you to mark shadow or mark permanent shadow to use them. So, because once you start down the road of corruption, it's a spiral down faster. So, they don't generally require you to spend spirit. They will have you actually mark shadow. If you mark a permanent shadow, what that means is that you'll fill in that particular shadow box permanently. And you will never uncheck that. Even like if you fill up this shadow track and then you uncheck everything, you don't uncheck that. So those are the really bad ones. Like the ones that mark permanent shadow, those are corruptions that kill, or that outright remove a character from the story entirely. Like we don't have a fawn in the group, but fawns have an endless dance corruption, where they can mark a permanent shadow to make someone dance forever.
Ow.
And so it doesn't specifically kill them, but it effectively removes them from the story. But it costs permanent shadow, so you can only do that so much, because you're going to start to fill up all those shadow permanently, and you'll never, your character will spiral into being lost to the void completely.
One of my corruptions is super dope, but mark 2 permanent shadow. So
Yeah, there's some really, really tough ones too.
I have one that's pretty cool, but it's a permanent shadow every time.
Yep. Okay, so you've got that. So basically, otherwise functions like a talent. You can use it when you want to, but it's going to cost you shadow to do it.
Excellent.
Okay, so once we hit ground, because we've just gone through literally every fear that Aguilaria has,
Sure.
is off that thing and standing on terra firma, and if actually no, it's totally possible. She roots into the ground. Like, in fact,
Like, that's
pretty
enough.
good or anything, she plants herself.
Well, let's for simplicity's sake, let's call this kind of the end of the day. The day is kind of winding on. The sun is starting to drop. I mean, you did a bunch of traveling here. You were up on the hilltop. You climbed up it. You know, you traveled I mean, you spent like a day getting up and down from the telescope, and so it's getting on toward that time. Woodkin it's not unknown for Woodkin to plant themselves, to root themselves into the ground when it comes time to rest.
Hey,
That's
Mr.
not to say that you're permanently stuck there until the sun comes back up again. But it's something you can do.
Mr. Human, do you have any water?
I do. I have some. I do.
Can I have some?
He pulls out like a big, there's a term for it. I can't think of what it is, but it's basically a big water skin. It's like you don't drink from it. You pour from it into other containers. It's basically like it's a giant water bladder.
Wow, that's a lot of water. What do you need so much for?
Well, I don't know when I'm going to be able to refill it when I travel like this.
Oh, okay. You brought this from home? It's human water?
No, it's human. It's water from here. I did bring water from home, but I have since had to fill it. I've been here for 10 days on this trip so far.
Oh, that's pretty long. Okay, well, thanks. I'm gonna water our plant friend.
He walks
See if
over,
that helps.
waters. Aquilarius. Parsley's
Dump it
hands and
a little over
Parsley's-
Aquilarius' feet.
Parsley's paws go back to normal.
Hey, you're looking much better, Parsley.
Yeah, I don't want hands.
That's what
Looks
it was.
like-
You had hands.
And Frederick's just like, hands.
They can be handy, though.
I mean, they're not bad. I like them.
I have hands
I
too.
like you two just the way you are, Parsley.
Aw.
Although I do turn into other things, and like only one of those has hands, so they're pretty much optional.
Frederick walks over to Aquilaria. Says, I've not dealt with your kind much. Do you require something to eat or drink, or dare I say, do you require to be watered? I do not wish to insult you if that is not the case.
I'm already
rude.
doing that. Do you not see me dipping this thing over her feet? Here, you can have this back.
Actually, thank you very much, but I am quite fine right here, just like this.
And he sits down to finish his little meal, and is happy to engage in friendly, just a little chit chat. He's making a point of not talking to Junie because she's clearly openly hostile.
Not down with you.
But is happy to talk to Sparky or Parsley should they wander by as well. He looks a little sideways and kind of cocks his head whenever the red cap when Sanders comes walking by because he's still trying to figure that one out. But otherwise is talking to you and just kind of like it seems to be showing genuine concern that you are hurt, and he's just he's trying to be. It's essentially. Not that your characters recognize this, but he is being a good host.
Yeah.
He is being a proper host. Like there's a level of like he feels a responsibility to, like he helped you and he wants to make sure you're okay. And so, he's asking, like where you're from, who you are, blah blah blah, where you're going, if there's anything he can do to help. Because
Gathering intelligence for his people.
as he says, he is a traveler, an explorer.
Well, and I assume that I've at least heard some stuff about humans.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm possibly less hostile.
Well, there's the general
Sure.
myth. There's the general myth that we and the kind of the truths that, so to speak, that we established for humans early on, which is kind of like general understanding of humans. Now, at the same time, we've established for your character that you're very close with your grandfather, who is very, very old, 200 plus years old. So it's entirely possible that he has spoken about humans with actual experience. And has perhaps not been as negative about them. That's up to you.
I have both magic knowledge and nature knowledge. So like she's a studier, right? She's the kind of person or the kind of woodkin who is gaining knowledge. I kind of see her as being like this is the family way. They're the recorders of history kind of beings.
You're going to gather evidence and make a decision rather than just follow what stories are being told.
Right. I've studied enough and know enough to know that sometimes the myths are wrong.
Fair enough. So he's happy to chat with you and anybody else who wanders by, except for Junie. He kind of gets real quiet whenever Junie comes by.
Junie is watching him the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting over. I can just see her sitting over in the corner, just like
Arms crossed, staring.
what are you doing?
How does
Right.
Parsley
Angry
interact with the
Tinkerbell.
human?
Parsley will eventually just like, fine if we're gonna be stuck with this guy, and just out of curiosity, would just ask,
You said that you've been here before, so when was the last time you were here?
Oh, the last time I came to your home was some months ago. I do have responsibilities and things that I must attend to back home. I have family and friends, so I'm only able to tear myself away to come here occasionally. This is, as I said, this is only my third trip to your land.
Do
My
your
What's the
friends have
human world
weapons?
like?
Junie, enough.
Pass
Sparky,
along the message. Do you have weapons?
Sparky asks what the human world is like, and he describes, without getting into a long discussion, but just to put this in your head, he describes how, like, the natural world is very much like it is here, except there's not magic and things like that, and there's like everybody's like him. There's like him, and then there's animals. There's no pixies. There's no woodkin. There's no any of those creatures. In his world, those beings are myth. They are legend.
They're all dead. Oh God, you killed them all.
And then he describes something that is either incredibly fascinating or utterly horrifying to you, and he describes London
Oh God.
during the Industrial Revolution.
Industrial Revolution.
Parsley's heart breaks.
Humans ruin everything.
Is that what you're planning on doing here?
Oh, no. I have no interest in despoiling your lovely world. Although it appears that
if you
whatever's
don't wanna despoil
whatever's
our
happening
world.
here is trying to do it on its own.
Right. Hmm.
Oh.
Pardon me, but my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that this sort of thing happens occasionally throughout your world's history. I doubt that any of you have seen it. I understand that it's many, many, many years between these times, but like something dark is in this place, something that wants to hurt your world, and that I hope it does not win. That is a sad thing. I would hate to not be able to come here again. I would hate to be here if it wins.
Yeah, who told you that? Huh? What makes you an expert?
I have spoken to many of your people.
Aqualaria, is that true?
That it's happened before? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
And this thing doesn't happen at your world?
Sounds like it already
Oh, there are terrible things that happen. There are disasters, and there have been volcanoes like that have erupted and destroyed entire cities. There's a rather famous one, a well-known one called Pompeii. That was a city of long ago that was destroyed by a great volcano. It is studied now by our people to understand better. But there are, I would perhaps say that the greatest threat that looms over our world is war. When two peoples come to clash with one another, when they go to fight, when they spill
I thought
blood.
It was only humans.
Oh, well, the humans all live in different kingdoms, so to speak, of different countries, different nations, different lands, and they have different languages and they have different beliefs and.
Like what?
He gives you a basic rundown of the conflicts between England and France throughout like 500 years, like the Cliff's Notes version.
Wow, that sounds complicated.
It is.
Once upon a time, there was this guy called William the Conqueror, and in 1066.
And he totally effed up our language, and there's 2 words for every damn thing.
Yes.
And then all the nobles spoke French, and
Yeah, 300 years.
Running down the
Oh, and all the people who rule these things are related to one another, and they're all every so often there's a really stupid one because of that, or one that just like talks to trees and but trees that don't talk back.
Your trees don't talk back? That's weird.
I mean, that one doesn't talk either.
And he
I'll walk over to the
tells
tree and I'll kick
he
it.
tells stories into the night.
Oh.
And night falls, and he prepares to bed down and sleep. He has a blanket. He's going to sleep
Excellent.
on the
I'll take
platform.
first watch.
I just go into the lantern and then
Whoop, and then the light goes down.
Yep.
So
Oh, no,
you're
the
like
light stays on.
you're the night light.
Yeah, I'm the nightlight.
Okay.
Is he asleep? Is he
Junie,
asleep? What?
be good.
I'm being cautious.
I need everybody to make a heart check. Target number 6.
I'm going to use a spirit,
Ew.
add a dice,
Now,
1 success.
So Junie succeeded. Looked like everybody else failed. That might be perfect. Okay.
the paranoid.
I try.
You take first watch. You like nothing happens, and then
She immediately starts rifling through his stuff.
and you find
Around
like
in his
you
sack.
find all of the things that you would kind of expect, and like it's mostly traveling supplies. It's all it's food and
It's
water.
nothing but toilet paper.
There's there's
Why is there a towel in here?
there's a compass, and there's a compass and a sextant, and you find a dagger, you find a weapon. He did not have on him. He had it. It was in one of his packs.
I would
And
turn to Bernie.
and you find a number of books that have writing in them, but you don't understand the language.
And Junie is going to say to Bernie,
Hey, buddy, go throw this in a river.
and she would
Away the dagger.
to throw
well,
away the dagger.
Bernie's like a pet. Bernie doesn't understand you.
Darn it.
You could play.
Bernie,
You could
we gotta work on this.
try to teach it to play fetch with the book. But you look through his stuff and you find like nothing terribly suspicious. It's all kind of traveler, explorer kind of stuff. Eventually, sleep kind of creeps up on you. Who do you wake up to take to kind of keep an eye out, to take watch?
The one I trust the most, Parsley.
Parsley is awakened. Do you you stay up for a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you stay up for a little while, and then you fall asleep because you failed your check. And Junie awakens to see Frederick Small choking Sanders to death.
What?
And he picks up the Redcap's body and starts to walk off with it,
Junie is going to scream.
dragging it by the scruff of its neck, by the collar of its of his jacket.
Junie is going to scream and just zoom straight at his eyes with her fingers like clawed.
You scream, and like so straight at straight up attack on
Yes.
this son of a bitch. And
Sanders.
he give me a body check
Oh, I'm not too good at that.
to attack
So
Frederick.
I'm gonna spend another spirit.
Yeah, weird.
Now I want to do. Let's do this real quick because we were gaining a lot of spirit and you weren't spending too much in the first session, so I didn't touch on
Correct.
this. But then in this game, people are starting to spend spirit more, so I'm going to bring this up too. Now you all have anchors for your character. You have 3 anchors that you've chosen for your character. Those are like role-playing guides. They're descriptors, generally positive, because this game is all about characters that are saving the world and helping each other. When you act like notably in in alignment with one of those anchors, you can gain a spirit for it. You can ask for it kind of in the moment in the scene when you're doing, like, if you're one of your anchors is courageous and you go to do something courageous, you say, my character's being courageous, that's an anchor of mine, and you can gain a spirit from that.
Well, so one of my anchors is protective.
Right. That can work.
Okay.
We'll come back to you in just a moment, but that's the basic. It's another way. Basically, what it comes down to is, because this is a glimpse into the game design. Do you want to hear about the game design?
Yeah.
Gaining spirit is usually dependent upon your dice rolls, and dice can be finicky. You could spend a lot of time failing or getting 2 or more successes and never getting exactly 1 success, so you're never gaining any spirit. So this is another way for you to be able to gain spirit, even if you're not rolling a lot of dice or if the dice are not cooperating with you. So now that we're seeing more spirit being expended, I want to bring that up. And now that you can gain that extra spirit from that from an anchor one time during a given story. I'm going to treat these first 2 sessions that we've been doing as a story. And then we'll treat the last 2 sessions as a story, just so you can go ahead and gain. If any of you have done anything here in lately that fits your anchor, feel free to mark that. Kind of make a note. You use that anchor and give yourself another spirit. Junie sounds like protective, like certainly in the moment here. You don't necessarily know for sure that Sanders is dead. So you're protecting him, protecting your friends. You were right. You were right about this guy. You were so right. So gain a spirit off of that, and you can make your check to target number 5 to go after Frederick Small, the murderer.
Poke your eye out!
What did you roll? I'm sorry.
1 success.
1 success. Okay, so you're gonna get him with 1, gain a spirit off of that. What do you do? Like, tell me what that is. What the attack is.
I think so. She is flying straight for his face,
Of course.
and she's going to she's sticking her hands out like at a point like this, and she just wants to ram him in the eye.
Wow.
Ouch.
Wow. Okay, so that's painful. You get him in the eye. He hits. He drops Sanders. He whirls around on you. In the moonlight, his eyes are coal black. Now your screaming woke up Bernie. But did not wake up any of the others. Bernie, let's do this. Junie, roll me a die. 1, 2, Sparky, 3, 4, Parsley, 5, 6,
Didn't
Aqualaria.
Parsley pass the check to wake up, or was that from something else?
No, I failed.
No, you all failed. That's right.
That one.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly because the person who doesn't trust him made the six.
The one who
Okay, so Sparky,
Yes.
the Bernie's like is awakened by your scream and when you charge in to fight this guy and realizes something is up. He's not sure what to do. Like, you're far away, so he reaches over and like slaps and kind of like slaps with his tail into Sparky, waking Sparky up because it burns. And you are
knocks the
awake,
lantern over,
and you are
okay.
awakened out of a slumber, and you have never felt sleepier than you do right now. You feel like even though you literally just sustained a burn, you could fall right back to sleep if you wanted to. You feel like you could just lie down and fall right back to sleep. In fact, it feels like you kind of want to. What do you do?
I'll pop out of the lantern and be like, "Hey, stop it! I'm trying to sleep." Wait, what's going on?
And there's a scream as Junie is poking Frederick Small in the eye really
Yes.
hard, and now he's bellowing in pain. And he has just dropped
I knew it!
a body to the ground. He was holding kind of dragging a body in one hand, and he dropped it to the ground.
Dirty human murderer!
Okay, so that was.
I'm gonna go over.
That's Judy's turn. That's Judy's turn. It's Sparky's turn now.
I'm gonna go over to the body and see if he's okay. And if not, I'm gonna try to like do CPR or whatever.
Quickly invent CPR. You run over to Sanders, and like just in the moonlight, you can see that they are not breathing, and they have like these just deep bruises around their neck.
Oh God, he's hurt. What happened?
And
You're
you
allowed to answer.
and you get over close enough now. You see Frederick, and his eyes are like jet black. Like there's no reflection of the moon or any light or anything in them. He's like there's
okay, the
it's
human
just
turned
darkness. Choking a chicken. Salaxius, geez, really? Yeah, kinda. Choking a red cap chicken. Anyway,
that did not make it better.
no, it didn't. And Sparky, do you want to do something now over there? You've taken this in.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing my lantern, and I'm gonna hit him in the knee with it.
Okay, give me a body check. Target number 5.
Ooh, 3 successes.
Mark a shadow. I will mark 2 box to hitting a boon. So you hurt him. You hit him in the knee. What do you do with the boon? Does that do anything extra cool? Think of it in terms of like, any RPG where you could knock him back, you could knock him down, you could cause him. He now limps and can't run. Anything that would kind of make sense as like an extra effect.
No more running.
No more running for him. He can only hobble around. And then you choose who Bernie wakes up next.
Parsley.
Parsley gets burned
Oh no.
and wakes up to see what we've just described. I'm not going to recap again.
Judy! And she just goes straight towards the situation, and then seeing Sanders not really knowing if he's like 100% okay or not, just very angry. He's just like, Judy, get him in the eye! Just get him in the jugulars! Just kill him! And she's I spend a spirit to use the talent called Beast. I instill rage and ferocity in one ally. They gain advantage to all trait checks to fight until the end of the scene.
And who gets that?
Gotta get him quick or he'll turn into a shade.
Junie.
Junie gets that. Junie is now the pixie, the mauler. The pixie pugilist. And then Bernie wakes Aqualaria to burning again on fire.
In with the fire.
Yeah.
How close to the tree line are they?
Within just like 10 feet or so. Like if he had walked too much further, he would have started to kind of disappear into the trees.
Okay. I am going to pay attention to Sanders because I like Sanders. It's not his fault that he acts like a chicken. It's just a thing that happened. I can remove a condition from someone else after sleep, and I used it last session, but we just slept, so I assume I can use it again now.
Right.
And,
Yes.
And I'm assuming since dead is a condition, I can move that from him.
You can raise the dead?
Technically speaking.
That seems okay.
I don't know. Craig is muted, and I'm not sure if that's
No, I'm back. I'm back. I was putting something in the chat. So, yeah, you're using say again. You're doing your when you wake up ability.
I'm doing the I can remove one condition from someone else after I sleep. And like I said, since dead is apparently a condition, it's listed on the character sheet, then that means I can remove that.
Okay.
Or, whatever level of whatever.
Okay. You go to check Sanders, and you realize, to your great chagrin, to your great sadness, that you are not going to be able to help him.
Can't help him. Okay. It was worth a shot. In which case, I don't really have, other than bitch slept with a literal, branch.
I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, there's no weapons. Like, there's no like you're not going to be like, I get D8 damage from a longsword instead of D4 for a dagger. So you can basically just choose what you're going to attack with.
I'm just trying to figure out the best way to go about it. Because the other option, no, because I don't think I can move between trees, but I don't think I can take anybody with me. It doesn't say anything. So I have an ability that
If it doesn't say you can take someone with you, then you can't, because there are movement abilities that that specifically say you can take.
Fair enough. Okay,
people with
so
you.
that would work. You know what? We're close enough to the trees. I am going to once again use my ability to make plants do what I want, and have the roots of the trees reach up and grab Mr. Smalls.
Okay.
And
Out!
Okay. You reach out and will basically controlling for like very specific action. Let's make them. Well, it's magic. Your vine twine is magic. Yes.
yes.
It says magic. So let's do a heart check. Target number 4 to just kind of grab somebody.
Okay. So we're gonna do a heart. Is this? Two successes. No, I'm sorry. What was the target number?
4.
Yes, 2 successes.
Shadow for you.
Yep.
And you well, yeah, go ahead. You get some roots from a nearby tree to reach out. Describe what happens. You grab.
So roots would literally start coming up from under the ground underneath him and just kind of wrap around his legs.
Okay. And so he's hobbling, grabbed by roots, He's been poked in the eye. He's been slapped around a bunch. Aqualaria, whose turn is it next? Oh, no. It's we're in the for the rules for those people who are interested in how the game works. This character is like a multi-hit challenge, and then there are also, with those types of challenges, there are milestones, and at certain milestones, like, other things happen. There's things that complicate things, right? Which is like one of the ways that I can have the adversary do things without having a turn, so to speak, that is mine. And in this case, frankly, Junie looks like the biggest threat. Junie, what are your fears?
She's afraid of small spaces in the dark.
Okay, well, you're in the dark.
Lantern's out. So
That's true. You've got lantern now, so you've got some light.
no, like it's out.
Well,
So
no, but
there's no light.
I understand, but I think small spaces is more fun. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Frederick waves his hand. His eyes glow purple, and you are enveloped with a inside of a sphere of light. That's like a glowing purple light. That inside of it, it smells of like wet hair, wet animal. The air is very stagnant, very hollow, and the shimmer. And all of you see that from the outside as well. You can't see out; nobody can see in. And this sphere is just slowly closing in on you.
Let me out! Let me out!
Aqualaria, whose turn is it?
I'm going to give Junie a chance to react to that. That seems fair.
Junie's gonna turn into a lightning bug to like give herself more room and just start
Get smaller.
bam, bam, like ramming at the side, trying to get out, like frantically.
Just slamming into the side. The group of you look. If you're looking at this from the outside, you see like this. Like every so often, there's just like this tiny bit of light. Like the purple sphere that is surrounding Junie is translucent, but barely. So like every so often, there's like a little point of light is right there, so you can kind of see like a tiny bright spot.
Little flashing light inside. But you can only make it out like right when she gets her like right next to the side. So you're struggling against that. You're going to try to. Are you looking to break out, like physically bust out?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. That'll be a body check, unless you have something up your sleeve.
I don't, but I am going to use a spirit. Give myself an extra dice.
By the way, you're at disadvantage. This is a fear.
Yes. Okay, so I just have the 2 dice. What am I aiming for?
Oh, target number 5. Break through the magic.
One success.
One success. You bust through the magic. I'm going to have you mark one of your you're no longer suffering disadvantage for the fear, but I'm going to have you mark one at just getting out of that. Mark one tick on your emotional conditions.
Okay. Yep.
Because you were like almost like just completely enveloped by something that like you've never experienced before, and that was threatening to just completely trap you. Incredibly frightening. Who goes next? But you're free. You're
okay. I'm the angriest little lightning bug there ever was.
For the rest of you, she like the lightning bug busts through the side of this thing, and it the sphere deflates like a balloon that's been let go.
Nice.
And
I think Parsley would act next.
Let's see. She's gonna take a moment and try to see on our friend Frederick if there is any vital area just to strike at.
Well, if humans are like if they're like, you know, fawns or wildkin or any of the other, you know, bipedal, like there's eyes, throat, guts, you know, gut, stomach, probably you know, the lower crotchal region.
The swimsuit area.
the down there in the groinery, you know, in the kind of the
There's no
All right,
square.
yeah, she's just taking it all in. She's like,
How dare you do that to my best friend?
and yeah, she's Bunny's gonna go in for the attack. Try to aim for something that might do heavy damage. I believe fighting
To the knee.
be involved in this.
yeah, it's a body check, and if you have a specialty,
Yes, fighting is my other one.
then that gives you advantage. Body check target number
And-
5.
Friend spirit. Why not? Just expend all my resources for this.
That's what it's there for. Doesn't do you any good if you die.
Good one.
Just saying. You get 1. Get your spirit back. You pop him. Where do you hit him? Like, considering that you're a bunny rabbit and you're on the ground, and I described 4 vulnerable areas, and one of them is clearly lower than all the others.
Lower region, stomach area.
Lower torso.
Yeah, no one wants to get bit down there in the end.
And he like doubles over in pain from that. And who goes next?
Sparky.
Yeah. Okay. So the ball thing, that's like my worst nightmare, because being trapped is my fear. So I'm like, oh, we gotta get out of here before he puts us all in those little ball things. So I'm gonna yoink Junie out of the air, hop over to Parsley, grab her, and then just run away with both of them. And be like, oh, we're running now, Aqualaria. Let's go. Come on.
Looks like it's Aquilaria's turn.
Dude, if they're running, I'm running.
It's this way, right?
I point in the proper direction.
Oh, that way. I was almost right.
You start running.
Is it my turn yet?
Well, I mean, yeah, you can. Basically, we're gonna drop like temporarily out of actual combat rounds, turns, and everything. I mean, if you want to try to do something, you're all free to do it. But he's badly injured, hobbled to the point that he couldn't run if he wanted to, and also currently pinned to the ground by tree roots. Now that said, you don't know how far his magic reaches. But you can, you know, as a group, get away from him if you wish to do so.
Junie is gonna turn back into a pixie. Let me at him.
Now he's gonna turn into a shade if we stick around. That's bad. That's real bad. Or he's gonna turn us all into those little ball things and crush us to death. We should get out of here.
I'll
What happens if he
ruin
follows
him.
us? What happens if he follows us on that flying thing?
Oh God, the flying thing. You're right. Oh man. Oh, okay, you stay here. I'll go back and smash that thing. I'll put them down, and then I'm gonna run back.
As soon as you put him down, her down, Junie takes off, like straight for his face.
Okay, so Junie goes back to take him out. Now that while you've still got your rage.
Yes, Junie is enraged, and as she's flying straight for his face, this almost like feral look comes over her. Like her eyes go dark, and like a little bit of shadow seems to form around her. And she is going to use her corruption move
Uh-oh.
called My Soul.
Called what? I'm sorry?
See My Soul.
See my soul.
Shadow. Make one creature grow fearful and run away from you. And obviously he can't run away, but
Sure.
wants to instill fear.
Terrible, horrible fear.
Yes, and she will rake him across the face.
And well, you do that, and you rake him across the face, and we'll go ahead and say, when you instill that fear in him, and so he becomes petrified. He just stops struggling. He's absolutely terrified. He's stricken with fear. You rake him across the face, scarring him.
Stay away from my friends.
And then he, still held by these roots, he drops to the ground, and he just cowers and balls himself up, and almost he can't fall over on his side really terribly well, but he's almost in the fetal position, he's just curled up into a ball and shivering in fear.
Okay.
And then Judy just flies back.
I don't think he'll be a problem anymore.
And he's just lying there, just, holding all his hurt things. And then I go, up, 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 and I smash the machine. Bye.
Okay, you go over to smash the machine, you think. And the machine starts to rumble and shake.
Uh-oh.
What the heck?
And it's
Grab his bag and run.
the four rotors that were the whirligig portion, the helicopter, the blades, drop down on individual tines of metal, and they kind of drop to the sides. The platform, click the side of it, the platform, the middle third of it stays, but then the outer outer third on this side and the third on this side kind of folds up and kind of covers the mechanical contraption that was within, and these blades drop to the ground, and then a portion of the mechanical contraption kind of comes down across and sticks out the front of the platform, because basically the platform has kind of become like a tube of wood, and part of it kind of sticks out, and it has the form of it's made of metal, but it looks like a cat's head, and the four blades drop down and become like legs, and out the back comes this mechanical snake-like tail thing, and it's a gigantic mechanical cat creature thing, and it
Humans really are the worst. Never mind. I'm not going to smash you. You're
and
too
it
nice.
it
I'm
turns
just gonna
back
go.
around at you, and it looks at you, and it drops it drops the lower front of its, the front half of its body kind of down low, and in the most non-kitty cat way tries to nuzzle you, where the cat thing where it comes up and it puts its face against you and then rubs its body along you, but it's just pushing you with its big wooden and metal form, and it knocks you down, and it purrs in this mechanical hum.
Ooh.
But I think it's going to eat me, so I go in the lamp.
And you whoop into the lantern, and the three of you and Bernie are looking on, and your giant mechanical cat thing that used to fly but now purrs like a giant mechanical cat thing looks at all of you, and that's where I'm going to end this session.
Fox, we're gonna have issues.
That was weird.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a transformer. Why not?
Why not?
That was weird.
Not what I was expecting when you asked
Yeah,
for that
nope.
prompt.
Nope. Okay.
Well, quite frankly, I wasn't necessarily planning on doing that. I was planning to have a some sort of animal, and people mentioned cat things, and I was like, okay, we'll have a big cat show up, and I was like, wait a second, he's gonna go kill this thing. Let's make it a transformer. That's it was in the moment. Again, none of this is planned. I didn't plan a damn thing. I didn't know that we were going to have an ornithopter today. Period. I didn't know that it was going to transform, and I didn't know that it was going to transform into a cat that is bigger than all of you.
Amazing.
Giant.
I love running a game where I don't have to roll dice and I can just focus on this kind of stuff. And I love having people who offer wonderful suggestions. This has been a lot of fun, and we're going to do it for 2 more Saturdays. And I imagine I'm probably going to do this sort of thing again because I'm having a great deal of fun doing this. Maybe some of you will be able to be involved as well. We'll see what happens in the new year. There's all sorts of opportunities coming. But this game will be happening again next week at the same time, 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find me. I'm Craig Campbell. I designed this game. I'm the owner of Nerdburger Games, and I designed a whole bunch of other games. You can go follow me at Nerdburger Craig on Twitter, and you can go to nerdburgergames.com to learn all about the games. And all this stuff is available, and all the stuff that I've designed is available on DriveThruRPG.com, except for this game because it's still getting finished. Liz, who are you? Who are you?
Oh my God, are we getting that existential? My name is Liz. You can find me on Twitter at Favtastical. I dabble on the internet in a few different games, but you can also find me. I'm a moderator for the Discord for Take This, which is an amazing organization which promotes mental health education in the gaming community. So you should definitely check them out.
I know. Take This. I took one of their online classes things for
Yes,
Twitch
they're
moderators.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been using my Take This Dr. B6 dice today, so.
Allie, who are you?
I am Allie. On Twitch, I'm Allie Eclectic, and as of right now, I am completely not social. So that's really the only place you'll ever see me running around. And I don't even stream yet, so really nice to meet you. Hi.
Paladin Hulk.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paladin Hulk, Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday, Little Red Dot, and the Starwood Initiative. And you can find me, let's see, not tomorrow because it's an off week, on Uncanny Adventures, where I play Holt, the pirate paladin who tries to make friends with all the evil pirates. And even though the friendship making is going well, the ship has hit the rocks, and that's not a metaphor. We actually hit physical rocks, so we're taking on water, and that's real bad. Then Tuesday, I return as Dom Rain, the Githzerai noble warrior who is looking to escape the realm of existence in which he now resides. It's Lost, but make it D&D. I play that on Polished Cryptids channel, and then Friday I have the finale for my Monster of the Week show over on Raven's channel, where I play Daniel Vanderveer, LAPD detective, and I'm about to sacrifice my life so my daughter doesn't have to, and hopefully I'll survive it, but you never know. And we're not sacrificing anyone, because the other said no. I thought it was a good idea because we have to make a sacrifice, but you know, people have morals.
Morals. What is their problem?
So convenient.
And Hyuna?
I'm Huna Farron. You can find me and a few of my friends on our D&D roleplay subreddit, r/Wayfarers Pub. This month, we're trying to wrap things up and kind of give back to the community of doing a lot of Christmas events, and yeah, you can find me there.
Woohoo! And a quick note too, as part of the Nerd Eye Twitch channel here, this is only one of 4 shows. There are 3 other things you can go do. You can watch Aloy Lasanta, the designer for Third Eye Games, run AMP Year 5, which is a supers game. He's had a 5-year plan for like supers are introduced to the world and what happens in the 2nd year, the 3rd year, and the 4th year. And he's about to go into the 5th year. So this game that he's running is a preview of what's going to happen in that book. That nobody owns because it hasn't been made yet. And then on alternating Fridays, couple of Fridays a month at 8 p.m. Eastern, Eloy and I talk about gaming stuff. And then on the alternate Fridays, I talk with Jess Geyer of Wannabe Games and on a show called RPG R&D, where we are every episode we'll have a game designer guest, and we will talk about GMing, and we will talk about game design primarily from an indie kind of perspective, game designing and publishing, and then some other stuff too. And as of just here, like in the last day or so, you can find RPG R&D on like all the big podcast catchers now, Apple and Google Play and Stitcher and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. We got it all lined up there. So there's an audio version of that. So if you're not one to sit and watch people's faces, you can just listen to our voices. So there you go, everybody. Thank you. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you, players. We're gonna say goodbye, everybody.